Hey dude, you have any remedies for when you're sick? Lots of apple juice? Tried it. Chicken noodle soup? Tried that too. A Leaf shutout win? Hey, I'm starting to feel better already!
You ready? Big news. What? Seriously?
No pigs yet!
What? What was he doing? Wow. Bring him on. Beautiful.
Leafs win 3-0 over the Minnesota Wild. And it's not often you can say the goals were the least exciting part of the game, but yeah. So let's get those boring things out of the way. Early on, Joffrey Lupul coming in top cheese. Second period, Clark MacArthur dropped pass to Mikhail Grabovski, fromage. And third period, Mikhail Grabovski doing some passing of his own right to Carl Gunnarsson and a cheddar. Leafs going cheddar all night. Might I add, on one of the NHL's most underrated goaltenders in Nicholas Backstrom. And here's the crazy part, just 17 shots for the Leafs. Leafs never actually gotten a double-digit shots for one period in this game. In fact, second period, the Leafs only had 3. And one of those goal scorers, Carl Gunnarsson, getting his 4th of the season, led the Leafs in ice time in this game as well. I know you can't really replace Thomas Kaberle, but when you got guys like Gunnarsson doing stuff like that, it helps. That being said, 3 goals on 17 shots, the Leafs took advantage of their chances and buried them. The Minnesota Wild, who equaled those chances in breakaways alone, couldn't take advantage, or rather weren't allowed, by James Reimer. James Reimer with the 29-save shutout, stopping 11 shots in each of the final 2 periods, for his 3rd career shutout and 3rd of the season. 3rd of the not even half season, we should say. Reimer now tied for 2nd in rookie shutouts with Corey Crawford, just 1 behind Michael Neuwirth, who has played over 40 games. Reimer hasn't even played in 30 yet. Now I always give you guys props, but I gotta do it again. Big props to the Leaf Space live chatters for calling it again. They said, hey, what's James Reimer's success rate on breakaways? Well, he made a huge one against Tyler Seguin in the Boston Bruins game, and 3 all-alone point-blank breakaways against the Wild. Stopped them all. And I know his shootout percentage hasn't exactly been the best, but he does seem to succeed in situations that resemble a hockey game. What are you talking about? But then what does that make a penalty shot? Yeah, it's a whole other can of worms, and he stopped one against the Islanders, actually. So question of the game, was that James Reimer's best game of his young career? Because even though it wasn't a shutout win, I think that win in Philly was pretty sick. Then again, he probably didn't have to stop 3 breakaways. What do you guys think? Now we look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Looking at teams ahead of the Leafs, both Carolina and Buffalo win, meaning the Leafs at least keep pace in the playoff race, still 4 points behind the Sabres, meaning the Leafs have 8 games left and there are 16 points up for grabs. And the most discouraging part of all that is if the Leafs somehow managed to win all 8 games, they could still miss the playoffs. The way I look at it, the Leafs have to win at least 7 of their 8 games, 6 if you're really, really lucky. So I'll ask you again, can they? Because the Leafs are in Colorado on Thursday, in Detroit on Saturday, and even if they win both of those games next Tuesday at home against Buffalo, that is the season right there. Doesn't matter if the Leafs win all the other games. When it comes to Buffalo, if you win, you have a chance. If you lose, you're probably out. And speaking of playoff battles, the Toronto Marlies also have 8 games left in their season. 6 of them are at home. And new signing Tyler Brenner will be there if you want to see him. Jake Gardiner just got there. You want to see him as well. But let me ask you guys, I know some of you don't live in the GTA, and that's fine. But if you live close enough to the Marlies, they're battling for a playoff spot. Are you going to go see them? And you might not want to think about this, but just try. If the Leafs do miss the playoffs, I know it hurts, and the Marlies make it, they'll be getting some reinforcements. Like Matt Lashoff, Keith Ollie, and Nazem Kadri. Those are some pretty sick reinforcements. And speaking of Kadri, that's the note I'll end the video on because he played pretty well against Min0. Only played about 12 minutes, yes. Took a penalty, yes. However, as he's proven time and time again in the AHL, he knows how to draw penalties. For parts of the game, he was battling off a very talented, much bigger and more experienced Mikko Koivu. And while his faceoffs have been pretty bad since he got recalled, won 8 out of 11 in this one. And that's something I would love to see Nazem work on. Because I'm not comparing him to Sidney Crosby. I would never compare anyone to Sidney Crosby. He's the best hockey player in the world. But when he was a rookie, someone had to have said to Sidney, hey, your faceoffs suck. And his faceoffs did suck, but then he worked on them. And guess what? His faceoffs didn't suck anymore. Any prospect will have their weaknesses, but it's how they address them that matters. So that's it for this one. Check the underbar because I have proof that James Reimer is indeed a transformer. Add me to leafspace.com, Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. And can they?